Hey friends! Before we start the show, we want to give a quick shout out to a few members of our Patreon family.
That's right! We want to send out a big hola to our amigos Wilder and Wrigley and their padres, Patrick and Adrian. We're so happy to hear that you all are having fun learning Spanish with us. And we want to say thank you for being such wonderful listeners of our show and for singing all of our songs with us.
We also want to send a big hola to our amigo Michael and his papa Drew and mama Danielle. Michael, we're looking forward to getting a question from you so we can answer it in one of our episodes. It can be anything you want to know. It could be your favorite animal, or your favorite activity, or maybe even the title of your favorite book. The choices are endless.
And last but not least, we've got a special announcement. We didn't realize it until we had already released our last episode, but we had a question from one of our Patreon listeners, and believe it or not, their question was very similar to the theme of this month's lesson. Starting today, we're going to make a special announcement when someone sends in a question that's similar to the theme of the month. When it happens, you'll hear this sound. So let's play it for real this time. Evan, sound the alarm!
We've got a special announcement, everybody. Our amigo Ren has a question that is super close to the theme from this month. Ren, what is your question?
Hi, my name is Ren, and I was wondering, how do you say animal in Spanish? And what are your favorite animals in Spanish?
Aw, thanks so much for the question, Ren. And way to go on guessing what this month's theme was going to be. As we learned briefly in our last episode, the word for animal in Spanish is animal. Can you repeat it after me? Animal.
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 Muy bien! And to answer your second question, Ren, my favorite animal has got to be mis gatos, my cats Banyan and Olive. I love them so much. Evan, what is your favorite animal?
Well, since you already mentioned our cats, I'll say that my favorite animal is a sloth. I love how happy they seem to be and how slow-moving and peaceful they are. I was lucky enough to travel to Honduras this past summer, and I got to hold a sloth, and it was one of the happiest moments of my life. I learned that the name for sloth in Spanish is oso perezoso, which is really funny because if you translate that word to English, it means lazy bear. So the name for sloth in Spanish is lazy bear, or oso perezoso.
Well, amigos, that was a long introduction, so thanks for sticking with us. I think we're ready to officially start the show now. Here we go.
Hello, friends.
Hola, amigos.
How are you?
¿Cómo están?
I'm so happy
Estoy feliz
to be with you.
a estar contigo.
Are you hungry
Tienen hambre
to sing and play?
a cantar y jugar.
'Cause on our menu
Porque en el menú
is Spanish today. Everybody sing.
Eat your Spanish, eat your Spanish, eat your Spanish with us today. Did you say spinach? No, I said Spanish. Okay. Eat your Spanish with us today. Eat your Spanish!
With Evan.
and Vanessa. Hola, amigos.
Hello, friends. Me llamo Evan. My name's Evan.
Y yo me llamo Vanessa, and my name's Vanessa. Welcome to our review episode for Lesson 8 of Eat Your Spanish, where we learn the names of 4 animals that are common household pets, or in Spanish, mascotas.
That's right. We learned that cat is gato, dog is perro, fish is pez, and hamster is hamster.
Good job remembering, Evan.
Today we'll be quickly reviewing our words from last week, and then we'll spend some time playing a fun listening game with them.
Then at the very end of the episode, we'll be giving a special listener the chance to ask a question about how to say a word or phrase in Spanish. It's going to be so much fun! But first, it's time for a little review of our words from last week.
Are you ready, amigos? Here we go.
Spanish review time!
right, now it's time to take a look back at our lesson from last week. Evan, rewind the tape.
So today we'll practice saying the words for cat, dog, fish, and hamster, since those are some of the most common pets. And if the pet that you have is different from one of the 4 we just listed, don't worry because we'll have many more episodes about animals in the future. So Vanessa, how do you say dog, cat, fish, and hamster in Spanish?
Good question. So the word for cat in Spanish is gato. Dog is perro, fish is pez, and hamster is hámster. Actually, this is a really good chance to mention what a cognate is. When a word is almost the same or exactly the same in 2 different languages, that's called a cognate. So the word hamster or hámster in Spanish is a cognate.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, I love these little details about languages. They can be so much fun. All right, so now that we've learned our words for the day, we can try practicing them together. I'll say the word first, and then you repeat it along with Evan. Let's start with the Spanish word for cat, which is gato. So repeat after me. Gato,
Gato,
gato.
gato.
Muy bien, amigos. The next word up is the word for dog, which in Spanish is perro. Repeat after me. Perro,
Pero,
perro.
pero.
Excelente! 2 more to go. In Spanish, the word for fish is pez. Let's say it together. Pez,
Pez,
pez.
pez.
Muy bien, amigos. Our last word for today is the word for hamster. And remember, even though this is a cognate and it's spelled the same way, it's pronounced a little differently. So for hamster, we say hámster. Repeat after me. Hámster,
Hamster,
hámster.
hamster.
Great review, everybody. Now I hope you're ready to have some fun because it's time to play
A Spanish game.
Spanish game time.
Hello again, amigos. Nice work practicing our new words. Now we're going to use those 4 words to play an exciting sound game.
The game we are going to play today is called Animal Sounds. First, we'll play a certain sound that one of the 4 animals make. And it's going to be up to you to see if you can give the Spanish name for the animal that you hear. First, let's go over the sounds.
For el gato, which is the cat, we'll hear this sound. I'm sure lots of you have heard that sound before.
Here's another common sound. This sound, as you may have already guessed, is going to be for perro, which is dog in Spanish.
For el pez, which is a fish, you'll hear this sound.
And last but not least, for el hamster, which is of course hamster, we will play this sound. Okay, are you all ready for round 1?
See,
Here we go. What animal makes this sound? Okay, friends, do you have a guess?
time's up. If you guessed el perro or dog in Spanish, you're correct. Muy bien.
Great job. All right, time for round 2. Let's open our ears and listen closely for this one. Okay, amigos, what's your guess?
Time's up. If you said el pez, which is fish, you got it. Way to go.
Awesome job, amigos. Here we go. Round numero 3. What animal makes this sound? Okay, friends, what's your guess?
Time's up. If you said el gato, you are correct. Muy bien.
Great work. All right, last round, round numero cuatro. Let's close our eyes and open our ears for this one. Which animal makes this sound? Okay, friends, what's your guess?
Time's up. If you said hamster, you got it. Excelente, amigos.
Yeah, great job, friends. That was so much fun. You all are amazing listeners.
Now, does anyone out there have un gato, un perro, un pez, or un hamster? If you do, next time you see them, you can give them a hug or pet them, or put your finger up to the glass and say, Tú eres mi mascota y yo te amo. And that means you are my pet and I love you. Tú eres mi mascota y yo te amo.
And then if they look back at you and say, Yo también te amo, which means I love you too, you'll know that your pet can speak Spanish.
Ha ha, very funny, Evan. Well, amigos, we're nearing the end of our review episode, which can only mean one thing. It's time to answer a question from one of our listeners. Evan, who is this week's special listener?
We've got 2 special listeners from our Patreon family this week, and they are Hermano y Hermana, brother and sister. Their names are Esme and Henry from Louisville, Kentucky. We'll start off with Esme. Esme, what's your question?
Hi, my name is Esme. I live in Kentucky, and I want to know how to say robot in Spanish. And adios.
Hi, Esme. Great question. Before we answer it, let's hear what your hermano Henry's question is.
Hola, my name is Henry, and I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, and I want to know how to say dinosaur in Spanish. Gracias.
Wow, those are both great questions, you two. I bet there's a lot of listeners out there who love robots and dinosaurs. If I had to guess, I would probably say about 100% of our listeners. So Vanessa, you've got to teach us, how do you say robot and dinosaur in Spanish?
Those are both fantastic questions. Hi, Henry. And guess what? Both of these words are cognates. If you remember from our last episode, a cognate is a word in one language that is spelled and sounds similar to a word in another language. Sometimes they're even exactly the same, just like the word hamster or hámster in Spanish. So in Spanish, the word for robot is robot. Now this might seem really easy at first, but there is a really special thing that Spanish speakers do when they say certain words with the letter R in them. We roll our R's like this. Rrr. Now let's try it together. Rrr.
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 Great job, amigos.
Vanessa, I've been trying to do it, but whenever I try, it just sounds like this. Rrr.
That's okay, Evan. Some people's tongues don't actually roll R's as easily as others. If it's too tricky right now, you can just say it like this. Robot.
Can we try and repeat it all together?
Sounds good. Repeat after me. Robot.
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 Muy bien, amigos.
Great work, friends. Now let's get to Henry's question. Vanessa, how do you say dinosaur in Spanish?
Well, Henry and all of you dinosaur lovers out there, you'll be happy to know that dinosaur in Spanish is very similar to dinosaur in English. For dinosaur, we say dinosaurio. Can you repeat it after me? Dinosaurio.
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 Excelente, amigos.
Excellent job, friends. You know, when I was in kindergarten, my teacher asked my class a question. She asked, if you had a pet dinosaur, what would you do with it? And we all had to draw a big picture of what we would do with our pet dinosaurs. So right now, in my closet, I've got a drawing from kindergarten with a big brontosaurus on it, which is a dinosaurio with a very long neck. And I'm standing on its head hanging the American flag on a really tall flagpole. Isn't that so funny? Now, Henry, Esme, and all of you listeners out there, I've got a question for you. What would you do if you had a dinosaurio for a mascota? What would you do if you had a dinosaur for a pet?
Ooh, I've got an idea. Everyone who's listening, if you draw us a picture of what you would do with your pet dinosaurio and send it to us at evanandvanessa@gmail.com, we'll post it on our Eat Your Spanish Instagram and Facebook pages.
That's a great idea, Vanessa. And just in case you can't remember our email address, you can always find it on our website at eatyourspanishpodcast.com under the Say Hola section. So, amigos, it's off to the drawing boards for you all. And thank you, Henry and Esme, for your wonderful questions and for being such thoughtful Patreon supporters.
Muchas gracias, Henry and Esme. And muchas gracias to your mama, Emily, and your papa, Mike.
Thank you all so much. If any of you listeners out there ever want us to answer one of your questions, just visit us on eatyourspanishpodcast.com and you can send us in your question. And if you record your question on your parents' phone and send it to us, then you can have the chance of hearing your voice on one of our podcasts. And remember, if you're a Patreon supporter of the show, one of your gifts, besides the gift of feeling feliz about helping support our podcast, is that your question gets bumped to the top of the list with the other patrons. Well, that sound means it's time for us to say goodbye.
Thanks for joining us today for this special review episode of Eat Your Spanish. We had so much fun playing our animal sounds game with you and learning how to say robot and dinosaurio. We hope you all are having fun learning Spanish with us, and we'll be with you again soon on our next episode. But for now, it's time to sing our goodbye song together.
We hope you'll sing along with us.
Adiós, mi buen amigo.
Goodbye, my good friend.
Hasta luego.
See you later.
See you later, my good friend.
Adios, amigos. Goodbye, friends.
Hasta luego. See you later. Thanks for listening to the Eat Your Spanish podcast. You can support our podcast by visiting patreon.com/eatyourspanish or by subscribing to it and leaving a review on iTunes. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, or on the web at eatyourspanishpodcast.com. Thanks for listening. Adios!